How about this, though? It's the second walk-off run of the series for the Nationals. Signatures have done 8.
You guys actually have a better ending. Elliot Ramos and taking on the Rangers. The Niners had to take Ramos up. They no out. Yeah, all they do is make you go, no. They get back, big burger. Now I'm done. They decide to send me third. And he just was like, what are you doing? Whoa, you got that. Ramos, holiday, game winner. That is a little bit all right. Trying to walk it off.
Yeah, Mike, I think I must have not clicked the right setting, disabled the chat, so we fixed it, and now we have a chat. All right, how is everybody for the last 2024 Bowman draft break, I should say, or maybe 2024 Bowman break total, at least before 2025 releases. We have 3 more jumbos today and 1 super. We'll see if we could have an equally good break to the first 2024 Bowman draft break we had, which included boxes from the same case, and pulled that was our red Bazana auto break. Alan says cautiously optimistic. What's going on, Chris and Alan and Mike? Let's see. Also looking for some Hess and some Cobb for Chris. Heard Hess has continued doing some pretty good things in his first couple games in the minors for the Yankees. So, Chris, I hope that collection is looking good and that works out really well for you. And hopefully we could add a little bit more tonight. That would be an awesome way to end it with a snack pack. All right. Let's see. Do we have anybody left over? I know we have a couple of unsold spots. Tough day for the Mets. Fortunately enough, that's been somewhat rare this season, but definitely a tough one for us on the Queens side. All right, let's see. Just the leftovers. So we will copy those in and get going. There's 4 total players, which has actually been a theme over the last few. Tonight we have Byron Churio, Camilo Diaz, Eduardo Herrera, and Tink Hence as the leftovers. Did the Yankees sweep the doubleheader against the Blue Jays after that tough loss on Friday? Actually have Sports Center on right now instead of. Is there still an NBA game on right now? Yeah, let's get this game on. We got the Pacers-Bucks game that we'll put on in the background now. How we looking? Indiana with the lead right now. All right, so just those 4 spots available. $4 for all 4 spots total. Churio, Diaz, Eduardo Herrera, and Tink Hence. Chris saying Williams got demoted from the closer position. I wonder how much of that has to do with – I don't know if you guys caught that apparently the Mets realized – I don't know if any other team realized this beforehand, but he was pretty dominant up until that Mets NL – wildcard series. The Mets caught that he was tipping some of his pitches, and they were able to tell when he was throwing his changeup versus his other pitches. I wonder if other teams caught on to that and figured out that he was tipping his best pitch and continued to use what the Mets found, and that's why he's being dominated. Yeah, I'm sure that if it's something like that, that would seem to be a really easy fix. But I would have thought they would have figured that one out already if it was. So maybe it's something different. What's going on, Gary? All right. If anybody's interested in picking up the last 4 spots, I'm not going to hold things up for it, but I'll drop it in the chat one more time. Let's see. I will also drop in the Facebook information. I'm sure we're going to have a bunch of stuff running leading up to or right after the 2025 Bowman drop. So the Facebook group information for anybody who's not in it already is there in the chat. I'm also going to add, Mike grabbing the leftovers. Mike, you got it. We do have our first 2025 Bowman draft break posted. That is going to be the Wednesday 10 o'clock break that's posted already. I tried to post the one to end on Thursday, but I was having an upload issue, so that one will get up on Tuesday, Tuesday, not Thursday. So we'll have a 2025 Bowman half case jumbo running the first few days. So there'll be one ending Tuesday night, one ending Thursday night. Those first two will both rip on Wednesday since that's release day. And then we'll keep that running into the weekends. Yep, Mike, you got it on the leftovers. All right, Mike, you are good for that one. Let me just write that into my spreadsheet, and then we'll get started with the break. All right, here we go. Release day is May 7th. I also realized that in my recap that I had done, or I guess preview of the 2024 release, 2025 Bowman release, there were a couple of players that I had totally missed in there that are pretty big prospects. Main one being, I don't remember what his name is. It starts with a Y, and I believe his last name is Rodriguez. He's another Brewers prospect, as well as another pitching prospect who I believe is an auto-only Rays pitching prospect whose name I'm blanking on right now. I'll try and remember it by the end. Thanks for sending that over, Mike. Got it. Good luck to you as well, Alan. We're going to get started with one of the jumbos, and then I'll let you guys choose. We'll start off with at least two of the jumbos before we possibly rip the super, or we'll Gary Gill-Hill is one of them. Yep. And I did forget him in my preview, so that is correct. There was one other Rays prospect, Rays pitching prospect. If I don't remember it before the end of the break, I'll look it up. All right, we are underway. Finished with a super. That would be super. What else? Oh, I want to do a trivia question. So I realized, and it's going to be for a 2023 Bowman hobby pack again. We've been doing that from time to time. So I realized that there is one very obvious player in the background of one card in this set. There might be other people who are in the background. If you guys can identify anybody else who's in the background of a card who is not their card, and you have proof that it's them, I'll give you credit for the win. But there's one really obvious player that's in the background of a card in this set. Whoever can tell me whose card it is and who that player is will win the 2023 Bowman pack. I will box by box. If nobody's gotten it by the time we get to the next box, I'll drop some hints and let you guys zero in if nobody's got it yet. But the trivia question is, there's a player in the background of one of these cards. Actually, Enrique Bradfield Jr. is one of the other close ones that maybe you could tell who that is, but the other person has their name clearly on the back of their jersey, and they're clearly identifiable. So that is the trivia question. And starting us off tonight, we have a blue first of Bryce Cunningham, who I hear is also off to a pretty nice start. So blue paper Bryce Cunningham, 134 of 150, starting us off. Fernando Cruz with the first chrome. Chase Alsop, Michael Massey. Our first chromes, Bryce Eldridge, Yosua Lugo, Adrian Smith. We have a first Fuchsia Lunar Crater, nice one, of James Tibbs, 18 of 199. Not a bad start tonight. Chase Burns on the in-tune. and refractors of Mike Sirota and Jeremy Rodriguez. So we're off to a pretty nice start. Sirota, our first refractor. Bryce Cunningham, our first paper. Nice one for the Yankee prospect. And James Tibbs with the Fuchsia Lunar Crater, number 18. What draft pick was Tibbs? He's probably close to 18. 13. So not a draft pick match, but close. All right, let's see. Santiago Suarez, says Gary. Who's Santiago Suarez? That's not the Met pitcher that 4.5 miles an hour yesterday, is it? Cags, Bazana. Is that who you're looking for tonight, SD, or is that a guess? Red auto incoming. We got Brian in the chat for the first time in a long time. The final 2024 Bowman draft break, and we got Brian joining us. I love it. We have Griffo Farrell starting us off in pack number 2. Bryce Rayner and Hagen Smith. Mike Sirota, Carson DiMartini, Rodney Green. First autograph of the night is Jonathan Santucci. Ryan Waldschmidt, Plasma Power, Ethan Bagwell, and Double Joseph refractors. So off to another nice pack there. Santucci looked very good in the spring breakout game that we were at. So fingers crossed that he ends up a Major League Met pitcher at some point. There's the Bagwell refractor, Hagen Smith, and Bryce Rayner. We'll get them in top loaders before we get on to pack number 3, and we have our first autograph of the break pulled. Lots of messages in the chat. Let's see what we have going on. Rays pitching prospects. Santiago Suarez, not the one I was thinking of. Hold on. Let me figure this out really quick. 2025 Bowman. The guy I was thinking of. So people I missed in my recap: Slade Caldwell, Diamondbacks prospect; George Clausen, Angels prospect; Brody Hopkins was the Rays prospect I was thinking of. So those 3 I did not include in my recap, but are some good names that are in the 2025 product. I was only giving it credit for a handful of people that I was highlighting. So the product's even a little bit better than I thought, with a couple of other maybe possibly already top 100 prospects that are going to be in there. We have a Blake Burke, Braylon Payne, and Chase Burns, Gage Miller, Ivan Luciano, Ryan Campos, and we have back-to-back packs with an autograph. Ryan Waldschmidt, first round base auto of the D-backs outfielder. Bazana in tune, Blake Burke, and Bryce Eldridge refractors. So we continue to be off to a nice start tonight. First rounder on the refractor. He also gets himself a base chrome. Braylon Payne getting base chrome. Ryan Waldschmidt. This might be the first Ryan Waldschmidt autograph that we've pulled in 40-plus breaks now. Let's get that one up in the display next to the James Tibbs refractor. And Chase Burns will get in the top loader. So I'm going to guess there's going to be no more autos in those 2 rows, so we'll go through those next. All right, let's see. Guess for free pack is Bazana and Cags. That is Bazana and Cags. Let's see. Most of these are college photos. So you're curious, Meb, that is a good observation. It was not somebody who is in a college photo. So that is a hint. That eliminates a lot of potential people. What up, Brian? Let's see. Steven says Payne, Moore, Burns. Let's go, getting all of his guys. Let's see. Meb, you might be correct. That was it might not be a first. SD wants to know the answer. We have sky blue chrome coming up here. Juan Baez, Davison De Los Santos, Colt Emerson, Mick Abel, Leo DeVries, Tyson Neighbors. Oops, wrong pile. We have an Adriel Rodney Sky Blue Chrome. We have a Chase Burns in action. I figured this might be coming out. Braylon Payne Refractor and Yosua Lugo Refractor. After we saw the Burke Refractor, figured there was a good chance we were going to get a Payne Refractor sometime not too long after. Adriel Rodney with the Sky Blue, not numbered Refractor. Oh, keeping things moving. Let's put this slightly to the side, so we leave that for the end. Let's see. Noblemeyer is not correct. I have Culpepper, King, and Neighbors. Says SD. Alan Waldschmidt won't be too long until he gets the call. Ooh, I didn't know he was hitting like that already. I knew there were a lot of good things going on in the D-backs minor leagues. I didn't realize Waldschmidt was doing things like that already, though. We have a Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz, David De Los Santos, Paulinho Santana, Josiah Romeo, Jackson Kent, and Victor Hurtado. Braden Montgomery, Casey Sauke, and Fernando Cruz on the refractors. Let's see. I pulled you 2 Waldschmidt autos, so I guess it is not the first Waldschmidt auto pulled, but he did cool way off. Is that in real life or in our breaks? Kevin Elster. I love that. I have not heard the name Kevin Elster in a long time, Greg. We have a green in action coming up here. Fingers crossed that the hanger tag isn't messed up. We have an Aaron Parker starting us off. AJ Causey, Bryce Cunningham, Levi Sterling, Dante Nori, and Trey Savage, who's been on fire to start his season. And the green hanger tag. Ooh, a cool one. Non-first, Yuendry Vargas, number 50 of 99, and it's looking clean. Connor Griffin on the Plasma Power, Chase Burns, and Aiden Smith on the refractors. Chase Burns refractor on the board. We like that. We like the Savage and Norris coming out. A lot of these first rounders have not been disappointing so far this year. This product is up in price significantly, and it's not just one guy that's been doing it. Yuendry Vargas, cool hit there. 50 of 99 on the green in action. Let's see. Oh, Darren saying, question, what is the question? So, Darren, there's one player in this set who has a player in the background of his card, and it's really obvious who the player is. You can see the back of their jersey. You can see the name of the player and some other very obvious identifiers. And I'm asking whose card it is and who the player is in the background. We have a Trey Snyder Chrome, Cody Shojanaga, Ethan Bagwell, Casey Sauke, Cole Mathis, Jared Thomas. We have a Speckle coming up. It is Cooper Pratt, back-to-back breaks with color Cooper Pratt, 172 of 200 on that one. Christian Moore, Bowman Draft Night, Cole Mathis, and Chase Alsop getting 2 first refractors in this hobby pack. Or jumbo pack, depending on what naming we want to go by here. Let's see. Was up around 500, but still hitting well. Made a diving catch last night. Meb is all over those D-backs prospects updates. Let's see. Greg saying, glad I picked up a bunch of Ramirez over the past year or so. Which, Augustin Ramirez? Yeah, speaking of people who are off to crazy starts, we were talking today about whether Augustin Ramirez might be a Rookie of the Year candidate at this point with another couple of home runs today. I think 3 already. His average is insane. I don't even know where it's at now, but Augustin Ramirez has been quite a trade. That was the Jazz Chisholm deal from the Yankees that they got him. Adolfo Sanchez, and he was a 2024 Bowman first. Charlie B. Ellenson, Gage Zeal, Ryan Clifford, Brock Wilkin. There he is. Speaking of Augustin Ramirez, Braden Taylor. We have Alexander Albertus on the Lunar Glow, Cody Shojanaga, and Eduardo Herrera on the refractors. So refractor coming out for the leftover lot and going to Michael. Albertus getting the first non-numbered lunar glow of the night. The Mets announcers today finally admitted that they've been pronouncing Jose Tena's name wrong since he got brought up by the or traded to the Nats last year. And there's a nice Augustin Ramirez, number 69 of 499 on that color match sky blue with the Marlins logo there. So a nice Augustin Ramirez on what I think we might as well call Augustin Ramirez week. There's not really anybody who's been doing things the way he does this week. Felnine Celestin, George Lombard, Jared Cerna, Clark Candiati, Tanner Jones, Caden Dana, Yoandy Morales, Christian Moore, refractors of Jared Thomas, and Michael Massey. All right. We have the possibility of autographs on the board again, going back to the first row. And you know what? On Augustin Ramirez week, let's get Augustin Ramirez up on the display. Dude is definitely a stud, and he's looked respectable defensively, which was the biggest concern over him. So hopefully he keeps all of that up, just not against the Mets. We have a Curly Martha, Dernish Valdez, Ryan Harvey, Luke Keeschel, also been off to a nice first week plus in the major leagues. This time last Sunday, I didn't realize that he had been called up. He has been looking good. Walker Jenkins and Pablo Guerrero. We have a Jackson Wentworth sky blue chrome. Jack Caglione, Plasma Power, Rodney Green, and Rhett Lauder refractors. This is probably not a helpful hint, but we have not shown the card that I'm talking about yet that has another player in the background of the card that would be the answer to the trivia question. Adriel Rodney with Drew Jones in the background? I don't think so. No, that's a pitcher in the background. That looks like somebody in the bullpen. Maybe not somebody in the bullpen since it's home plate, but I don't think that's Drew Jones. Oh, Keeschel broke his hand yesterday? That's annoying. So much for that good start. I guess the timeline for that is probably the same timeline that it was for Francisco Alvarez. So probably about a month and a half. Josh Caron, Randall Diaz, Brian Holiday, Ethan Schiefelbein, Ethan Anderson, Chris Cortez, Braylon Doughty, Max Clark in tune, refractors of Trey Snyder and Aiden Miller. And we should have the last autograph right here of box number 1. And it's going to be, looks like a true blue. Theo Geelin, Connor Griffin, Carter Johnson, Drew Beam, Dakota Jordan, Daniel Egan, and shortstop. Here we go again with Josh Kuroda Grauer hits. We've had some streaks where we hit some nice Josh Kuroda Grauers. It continues today. 17 of 150 there on the true blue refractor auto. Cags draft night, Carson DiMartini and Rainer Arias refractors in the back to finish off box number 1. And we did not do bad on box number 1. It wasn't there wasn't a huge hit, but consistency across the board there. Oops. Let's see. We'll keep the Augustin out for now. We have the Griffin, and we'll get the Theo Geelin in a penny sleeve. And then let me just shift over our paper cards, and we'll get into box number 2. We'll stick with the jumbo for now. So Meb kind of already took the first hint that I was going to give you guys after we finished the first box, but I will confirm that Meb was correct, that because a lot of the cards are what's it called, airbrushed from college cards, the person who has the player in the background is not a first. And that is hint number one that I'll give you guys for those of you guys who are still thinking about the trivia question. I will continue to narrow it down after box 2 if nobody gets it by then. And Meb confirms that that is not Drew Jones in the background of that card. He looked a little too tall and lanky. Maybe a similar haircut, but not Drew. Meb, are you on Kuroda Grauer again for our last draft break? At least for the time being. Add to your number to 10 auto that we pulled early. We have a teal lunar glow, aqua lunar crater. There we go. Braylene Brazaban, Sebastian Walcott, Tink Hence, Yoel Cespedes, Enrique Bradfield Jr., Braylon Morrell, no firsts in there. Aiden Miller continuing the no firsts run with a nice non-first there, 120 of 125, Aqua Lunar Crater. Christian Moore in tune, Peyton Toll, and Luis Guanipa refractors. Let's see. Gonna find out who it is, though. I believe in you, Meb. And congrats on the Kuroda Grau. I don't know why I just put that Peyton Toll in a penny sleeve. I mean, a top loader. I'm sure he's great, but that was meant for Aiden Miller. Let's see. We had 2 autographs in the top row in the last pack. I think that box might have been the one from the standalone order that I had to make because I was 1 box short for this break. So 2 boxes were from the same case. 1 was from a separate case. We have a Rafe Schlesinger Chrome first there. Heral Perez, Noble Meyer, Cooper Pratt, Tommy Troy, Miles Naylor, and Jeremy Rodriguez. Kuroda Grauer getting another one with a little color match on the Lunar Glow. Tibbs and Aiden Major getting refractor firsts. So a Kuroda Grauer night once again. Got some loud commercials on in the background of this game. No color in the paper. Chase Alsup in Chrome, Michael Massey, Bryce Aldridge, Yosua Lugo, Aiden Smith, Curly Martha, Dernish Valdez, Cags on the Plasma Power, Jamie Ferrer, and Braylene Brazaban on the refractors. Angels using Chris Cortez as a starter. He's looking good, but Meb's still betting that he's going to end up being a closer for the Halos. Still no color in the papers here. Our first Christian Moore of the night. Chrome there. Peyton Toll, John Spikerman, Nathan Flewelling, Nick Mitchell. There's a James Tibbs. We have our first autographed class of 2024. I like the colors. Oh, no, that was going to be, I didn't know Kuroda Grauer was in here. I thought we were going to have a Kurtz there. It is officially a Kuroda Grauer night. 105 of 250, having a huge night with 2 autos again. Chase Burns on the draft night, John Spikerman and Samuel Basayo on the refractors. Maybe the Orioles need to start considering bringing up Kobe Mayo and Samuel Basayo with the start that they're off to. Let's put the 2 Kuroda Grauers up there on the stand next to each other. It's going to be one of those nights for Meb. Holy Kuroda indeed. Angels Farm is a lot of a mess. Want to say Ellie is in the background of a card? If he is, I'm not aware of it. If you can prove it, though, I would still give you the W. Let's see. Let's continue down this first row since we have one autograph out of this row already. Probably won't get another. We have our first color paper of this box, and it's Noble Meyer, who has somebody in the background, but I have no idea who it is. Byron Churio, Roman Anthony, Shenang Lin, Emil Morales, Griffin Herring, Grant Shepardson, and a true blue chrome, Roman Anthony. Huge for the number one overall prospect on some people's list, 86 of 150. Matt Shaw on the Plasma Power. Nathan Flewelling and Vladimir Asensio on refractors. Few cards to get in sleeves there. Noble Meyer, the second sort of color match we have on the fish here. Noble Meyer and Augustin Ramirez both getting sky blue papers. Roman Anthony getting a true blue. We love that. I think I might have to replace the Augustin Ramirez on the stand now with the Roman Anthony, even though one is raking in the minors, one's raking in the majors. The blue beats the sky blue. Ooh, almost knocked over the camera. All right, keeping it going, we have Kalen Culpepper out for the first time, I believe. Chase Harlan, Casey Cook, Jamie Ferrer, Eli Serrano, Aiden May, and Blake Wright. Chase Burns in tune, Nick Mitchell, and Jose Perdomo on refractors. Let's totally fix the camera there. Should have probably no autographs in these top two rows, I would expect, since there was an autograph in the top row of the first, or that row of the first row. That row across of that row down, I should say. Travis Bazana on the board for the first time in Chrome. Cash Mayfield, Caleb Bonemer, Cal Steven, Kuroda Grauer again, Johnny King. And I lied. There's an autograph. Billy Amick, base auto. Bryce Eldridge, Plasma Power. Kalen Culpepper getting a refractor now. And LP Langevin getting a refractor as well. So Billy Amick on the board with a base autograph. Another nice auto to add to this break. It is, I'll give you this one now. It is not a Met. Not a Met. The player on the card and the player in the background, both not Mets, both never been Mets. I wouldn't mind if one or both of them ended up Mets at some point, though. All right, Amick auto out. Let's see. This is where the auto was last time, so I'm going to leave that pack, at least for now. Oh, Darren. You may have just got half of their trivia question right, Darren. Rainer Arias, Rhett Lauder, Aiden Miller, Eduardo Herrera, Dowell Joseph, Fernando Cruz. Who can win the race now to figure out who is in the background of the Matt Shaw card? Griffin Burkholder, Sky Blue Chrome, Max Clark, Chase Harlan, and Chandler Welch on refractors. It is not PCA. I see what might make you guess that it's PCA, but that defining characteristic you're looking at might be the why it obviously makes it someone else. We have a Fuchsia Lunar Crater. It says 78 on the back of the jersey. Sam Antonacci, Herrick Hernandez, Nick Montgomery, Ryan Sloan, Jacob Cozart, J.D. Dix. We have Cags on the Fuchsia Lunar Crater. There we go. 178 of 199 on the Cags. Connor Griffin, Draft Night, Casey Cook, and Leo DeVries on the refractors. It is not Cam Smith. It is not Cole Mathis. The player who it is does not have a card in this product. And Cags on the board with a nice one. Fuchsia Lunar Crater for Cags. Let's get that one up there, and we're going to switch out the Tibbs there. See if we can fit the Tibbs down on the side. The race is on now. Let me see. Do we have anything? Hey, there we go. Brent got it. Owen Casey. Brent with the win. Owen Casey. I think there's going to be an auto in that one, so I'm going to leave that. Owen Casey is the player in the background of the Matt Shaw card. Brent got it. Brent, let me know who else you had in the auction tonight so I can make sure to get you the pack. Congrats, Brent. Greg getting in there a little late with the answer. Ryan Harvey starting us off here. Luke Keishel, Walker Jenkins, Pablo Guerrero, Adolfo Sanchez. I like that the coalition worked that we never showed the answer before we got the correct guess. Charlie Bielenson, Gage Zeal, Jack Caglione again on the in action. Tank Hens and Aiden May on refractors. Kellen Lindsay, Brent, you get the 2023 Bowman pack added to your lot. Let me just write that down in my spreadsheet. Thank you, everybody, for playing along with the guesses. I spotted that when I was organizing the cards from last week's break, and I was like, "Ooh, this could be a fun trivia question." I was wondering if anybody would have noticed it and just happened to know the answer off the top of their head, but it was a fun guessing game. All right, we got Jaron DeBerry, Ryan Johnson, Titus Sissel, Hunter Cranton, Seaver King, Carson Benj, Brody Brecht, Ryan Waldschmidt, Blake Wright, and Yoelin Cespedes on the refractors. Brent, is this your first break with us? And final pack, we should have one more auto. Yep, Ben Hess has been hiding tonight along with any base cards of Matt Shaw. We did get one Matt Shaw insert. Our final autograph of this box is going to be another color. We have a purple coming up, so we'll have a class of 2024 refractor, a base, and it appears a purple to finish us off. Braden Montgomery and Nick Kurtz no longer hiding in this one. Dylan Dreeling, Brandon Neely, Fenwick Trimble, Ty Southacene, and the auto is pitcher, another guy who we just keep hitting, Parker Smith, numbered 104 of 250 on the purple auto of Parker Smith, Braden Montgomery in tune, Eli Serrano, and Sebastian Walcott refractors. And I am going to sleeve these up. Then we'll shift some cards over. And let me know in the chat if we want to stick with this and do the last jumbo before we get into the super, or if we'd rather do the super first and then finish with one more jumbo. First Kurtz and first Montgomery base chrome of the night to finish this box off on what was also Nick Kurtz's first week in the major leagues after getting the call Monday afternoon. Getting 2 RBIs his first week, including one in his first game. I think it was his first at bat even. A's appear to have some bats between Soderstrom stepping things up. Butler and Rooker haven't even necessarily had great starts to the season, but both of them solid bats, proven solid bats. Now Kurtz and Jacob Wilson in the mix as well. Things maybe not looking too bad for Brian's A's. All right, let's see. What do we have in the chat? Meb, I have been high on Owen Casey. That is probably part of the reason that I immediately noticed him when I saw him in the background. All right, let's see. Chris saying I've got Matt Shaw tonight and live 80 miles from Des Moines. Britt, if you get a dual auto on one of them, get the KCN. Well, I guess Matt Shaw's in the majors now. Braden Montgomery finally comes out. Yep, super last. Still fingers crossed for that. Let's see. Jared Thomas is raking. Hoping he is in Hartford soon. Hartford? Is that the Rockies AA team? Cole Messina's a stud as well, said Mab, looking really good. Darren saying IPC Thomas got a ton of Messina by default. That works out. All right. I didn't see any comments on whether to go super or jumbo next, so let's keep it going with the final jumbo, possibly of the first case that we got, or this might be the one from the additional jumbo pickup that we made. Let's see. All right, we have all of our jumbo cards out. Sadly, no snack pack. No snack pack for us this time. Starting us off with red. If this really is the same case that the Bazana came out of, what are we going to add here? Roman Anthony, Shenang Lin, Emil Morales. Oh, man, guys, good luck here. This could be in the auto spot, too, but I think the refractors and the non-refractors are in the same spot. Griffin Herring, Grant Shepardson, Rafe Schlesinger, and here we go. Catcher, non-auto color match on top of it being number 5. Jacob Cozart, number 3 of 5. Cozart, I believe I heard some good things about Cozart already. Tibbs in tune, so not a bad pull there. Blake Larson and Johnny Farmello on the refractors. So getting some new names on the board to start us off here and getting a Jacob Cozart red. I will say this one is a bit off center, both left to right and top to bottom. So maybe one that might be worth sending back to Topps and asking for a replacement for, because at top to bottom is pretty rough and the side to side is not as bad, but still not a well-centered card. Let's see. Let's take the Tibbs down here, and we'll put that Cozart up there since it's numbered to 5. Yeah, rough on the centering there, which is really crazy that they would allow a number to 5 card to be off that much. We have Ben Hess finally making his first appearance for Chris, Tyson Lewis, Billy Amick, Cole Messina, Woody Hadeen, Eddie Reinerds, and our first autograph of box number 3 and number 7 of the night, Nick Mitchell, Hagen Smith on the draft night, Carter Holton, and Nate Knowles on the board with refractors. Hartford Yard Goats. Is that Hartford as in Connecticut Hartford? That's why I was confused, because I know Hartford, the only Hartford I know is in Connecticut, and that would seem to be really far away for the Colorado farm team. Cole Carrig looking good too. Cole Carrig last year's draft class, 2023 draft class, Carrig. We have our first titanium of the break, and we have another blue paper coming up here. Pitcher Levi Sterling on the blue paper, number 127 of 150. Harel Perez, Noble Meyer, Cooper Pratt, Tommy Troy, Miles Naylor, Jeremy Rodriguez, and a good week for this one. Jared Thomas looking good on the titanium, number 78 of 100. Nice hit for the Jared Thomas spot. Carson Bench, Plasma Power, Bateman, and Wentworth on the refractors. So we like that one a lot too. A number of pretty nice hits in this one. There is a couple of pretty high-end cards that we have out already. Cags, the Waldschmidt, but a lot of like tier directly below that hits throughout this break. Thomas, Anthony, Cozart, Kuroda Grauer with 2 autographs. The Tibbs Fuchsia Lunar Crater. Consistent break tonight. Let's see. I'm going to keep actually the Tibbs and the Thomas out here. And once we get the jumbo box out of or the super jumbo out of the way, I want to put those back up in the display because those are 2 nice hits. We have, looks like nothing crazy in this pack unless there's a base auto back there, but I wouldn't expect there to be. Carter Matheson, Nate Dome, Luke Holman, Griffin Burkholder, Jonathan Santucci, Kellen Lindsay, and Theo Geelan. Maybe a Griffin coming up soon. Jose Perdomo in tune. Waldschmidt adding a refractor, and Adriel Rodney adding a refractor. All right, back live for a chance of an autograph going into row 2. Let's see. Mev saying Carrigs in double A. Let's see. James saying what? Takes me back to deal opening packs on Christmas. Oh, the gloves. Takes you back to opening cards on Christmas with your gloves when you were a kid. I love that. You were even taking care of his cards when he was a kid. We have Rainer Arias, Rhett Lauder, Aiden Miller, Eduardo Herrera, Dowell Joseph, Fernando Cruz. I've heard some people make fun of people for wearing gloves when they break or open packs. I don't get that. Like, why would you take the risk of getting fingerprints on your cards? And what would make you hate people who wear gloves when they're opening packs? Seems weird. Chase Alsop, Ethan Salas on the Lunar Glow, Cam Smith, and Max Clark, 2 nice refractors. We have not said Cam Smith's name many times tonight, so good to see him on the board in a refractor. How's Max Clark doing to start this season off? I haven't heard his name much, but I know he had a great season last year, jumped some rankings, and haven't heard what he's up to yet this year. I need to do a little bit more of a deep dive on player performances outside of the Mets that I've been consistently following, and I'm not loving what I've seen out of Sproat so far. Rough game this week, rough game to start the season, been okay in between that, but the K numbers are really low, which is concerning to me. We have Connor Griffin, there we go, on the Chrome. Carter Johnson, Drew Beam, Dakota Jordan, Daniel Egan, Josh Caron, and Carter Johnson on the auto. Another hit for the Fish in this one. Shortstop prospect, second rounder there. Carter Johnson with the base auto. We're going to get a nice one behind this, Bryce Rayner. Cags on the refractor with Josue De Paula. Another nice prospect behind him. Arm Layton's got De Paula in his top 10 prospect rankings already. And we all know what Cags is doing. Carter Johnson getting the auto, and Connor Griffin getting on the board, I believe, for the second time in Chrome. Let's go with this pack, which should not have, I don't know, maybe it could have an autograph in it. Hopefully we don't ruin the last autograph here in this pack. We have probably not. Ryan Harvey, Luke Keeschel, Walker Jenkins, Pablo Guerrero, Adolfo Sanchez, Charlie B. Ellenson and Gage Zeal. Seaver King Plasma Power. Tyson Lewis and Brock Porter refractors. Carrig, it is Hartford, Connecticut. Interesting. Yeah, I really had no idea that the Colorado AA team was all the way on the East Coast. Makes about as much sense when Vegas was the Mets AAA team. We have Michael Massey, Bryce Eldridge, Yosua Lugo, Aiden Smith, Curly Martha, Dernish Valdez, Sky Blue, Harry Ford, In Tune Walker Jenkins, and refractors of Cam Caminiti and Arjun Namala. Let's see. Alan saying he appreciates the way that we handle cards, gives you anxiety watching most breakers drop cards and treat them like they're playing poker. Yeah, do my best to do none of that here. And it appears, knock on wood, that we may even have the stream fixed. No hiccups in the last break and a half. So fingers crossed things stay that way. We have a blue refractor coming up. We have a Randall Diaz, Brian Holiday, Ethan Schiefelbein, Ethan Anderson, Chris Cortez, Braylon Dowdy. And the blue is an outfield first, and it is not an auto. It's Dakota Jordan. I've had a couple nice Dakota Jordan hits recently. This one's 73 of 150 on the blue refractor. Cam Caminiti draft night, Ben Hess, and Zaire Hope, a couple of very nice refractors there. So something nice for Chris and something nice for whoever had the Zaire Hope spot. I am very excited to start seeing some Zaire Hope autographs coming out now. Does anybody know what the deal is with the Zaire Hope autograph? I didn't realize this until I was talking to Brian and Bobby this week, but Zaire Hope has an autograph from one of the 2024 Bowman releases, but he was never in any of the checklists. We never had him listed in any of the breaks, and I didn't even put that together. And we looked into all the checklists, and he doesn't appear on any checklist. Looks like we're gonna have a refractor to 499 auto as our last one out of the jumbos. So one more numbered auto appears to be coming out here. Griffo Farrell, Bryce Rayner, I should say, and Hagen Smith, Mike Sirota, Carson DiMartini, Rodney Green, and we have a pitcher auto of a good pitcher, Luke Holman, 405 of 499. Leo DeVries on the In Tune, Billy Amick, and Dalton Rushing, another nice couple prospects there on the refractors. Let's see. It was a Bowman 2024 flagship. Only a couple made it out by mistake. Seen 2 or 3 red autos on eBay over the last year. I haven't seen any. I know that one red auto sold, and the My First Bowman, the blue 1 of 150, also got sold at one point. But I haven't seen anything sell besides those 2. Maybe there were some posted and they did not sell, but I don't see sales records for anything besides those 2. It'd be weird if it was just those 2 in existence. And for that caliber of prospect, that's kind of wild. So only a couple made it out by mistake. So like, what was the mistake? Did he not sign? Did he only sign like a handful of cards? I'm so curious how that ended up happening that way, and how what the situation is with the rest of his autos that were supposed to be printed, I guess. Maybe not. We have a Travis Bazzana Sky Blue paper here, 272 of 499. I've seen a lot of weird things happen. That Topps has done throughout the years, not having prospects ever sign, but I've never seen anything like this Zaire Hope situation. We have a Ryan Clifford, Brock Wilken, Augustin Ramirez, Braden Taylor, Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz, Deiber de los Santos, Cags getting on the board with another in action. Cole Messina and Luis Guanipa getting the not final 2 refractors. 2 of the 4 final refractors out of our last jumbo box. And a nice Bazana Sky Blue adding to our hits for tonight. Another, I'd say, B-level hit, along with the Jared Thomas, Tibbs, Bazana, Cozart, Anthony. We need one more big one to come out, at least before the end of this break. No, we have another. What's this going to be? What is this going to be? I have a suspicion of what this might be. Trey Snyder, Cody Shojanaga, Ethan Bagwell, Casey Sauke, Cole Mathis. And I think my suspicion is right. Behind the Jared Thomas, we have John Elway. For the second time, John Elway coming out in one of our breaks. Kyle Teal, Plasma Power. And Woody Hadeen and Samuel Basayo on the refractors. And that is the way to finish off our jumbo. Our jumbos, aka hobbies. Let me grab my thicker top loader because that is a thicker card there. And the Elway. Another fun hit tonight. We will get that one. I'm going to stack our Kuroda Growers. We'll make sure the second one stands out to the side a little bit so we can see it. But Elway on the board for only the second time. Let's see. Oh, I missed a lot of messages in the chat. See 2 red autos and 1 My First Bowman. Let's see. No idea what happened with the rest. It's just what I heard and when I asked at the time. Steven saying Burns more pain autos. Let's go. Brent, let's see. Yeah, those things will be some Grail cards if he pops as a prospect. I feel like at this point they're probably already reaching Grail status. And then Yeti saying maybe that's all he sent back to Topps. That would be a wild way for that to happen. And Darren saying the jumbos were much better than the supers. With the jumbos that we opened, especially out of that one case, I don't disagree. The jumbos were pretty solid in all of our 2024 draft rips. I know there's a lot of love out there for supers, but the jumbos are pretty good for us. We pulled some real big things out of jumbos during the time that we were ripping this product. All right, let's get into that super and see if we make that statement look like an inaccurate statement. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that that's the case tonight, and we have one more really nice super jumbo box to finish things off here. Let's bring that forward. Let's put a couple more stands up so we can get our Thomas and our Tibbs up there. Love to hear the name Nemhard in the NBA playoffs. Little Zags love there. Meb, I would love nothing more to see a super in the last super. All right, we have 1. We have 2. We have 3, 4, and our final pack of super jumbos of 2024 draft. Let's see. Let's put those there. Let's open this one up here. And let's see if our autographs are going to be on the top or on the bottom in this box. Starting off, we might have red. We might have titanium, red, and speckle coming up here. Red looks like an inaction, so fingers crossed that is a number to 5 red and not just the red of the team color. All right, starting off, Johnny King, Sam Antonacci, Herrick Hernandez, Nick Montgomery, Ryan Sloan, Jacob Cozart, J.D. Dix, Braden Montgomery, and Nick Kurtz. Juan Baez, Davison De Los Santos, Colt Emerson, Mick Abel, upside down Kyle Teal for some reason. Tyson Neighbors, Brooks Auger, Vladdy Guerrero. We have a Felny and Celestin Speckle, numbered 3 of 200. We have a first titanium outfielder of Tibbs. Let's make it a Tibbs night as well. 16 of 10 of 100 after we had an 18 of 199 earlier. And behind that, we have a red. We have a Cam Smith red in action, number 2 of 5, and the hanger's looking good. Caglione on the draft night, Chase Burns on the in tune behind that, but Cam Smith getting a red tonight. Number 2 of 5 there for the Astros major leaguer. Loving that. What a pack indeed. The Tibbs and the Cam Smith. I don't even know what to put on the stand now. I think the Elway might have to come down to the side. I think I might have to put the Roman Anthony in the stack. We might have to put the Elway to the side. Keep the Cags and the Waldschmidt up there and put the Cam Smith. I might even change the. What do we do with this Tibbs? Is that better? Is this a bigger hit than the Waldschmidt? Probably not. I think we just put the Tibbs on the stand with the other Tibbs over there and have a titanium next to a titanium with the Jared Thomas and the James Tibbs there. Ooh, we can barely see it. Well, we'll fix that soon. All right, Celestin with the numbered 3 of 200 speckle and some nice first rounders of J.D. Dix, Braden Montgomery, and Nick Kurtz getting back on the board multiple times now for each of them in chrome. Got Indy looking good. All right, and we didn't even get our auto yet. What a pack already. Greg saying, let's see, Call. Kids start to look good so far. Wolves in 5 saying MN Yeti. All right, what do we have here for our first autograph of this super? We have, looks like a refractor auto coming up to $4.99. We have a number to $4.99 blue paper as well. Sky blue paper of Adriel Rodney. We got one of each of the Sky Blues of Adriel Rodney tonight. Chase Harlan, Chrome, Casey Cook, Jamie Ferrer, Eli Serrano, Aiden May, Blake Wright. Just make sure these are on screen. Ryan Sloan, Travis Bazzana, and Cash Mayfield. Caleb Bonemer, Cal Steven, speaking of, Josh Kuroda Grauer again, Cooper Pratt Refractor, Tommy Troy, Miles Naylor, Jeremy Rodriguez, Rainer Arias, Rhett Lauder, Aiden Miller, Eduardo Herrera, and second baseman Travis Bazzana, refractor to $4.99 auto. We have our big hit of the night in the same pack as what might be the other big hit of the night. Cam Smith red, followed by a Bazzana auto to $4.99. Christian Moore with the plasma power behind that. So our first break had a huge Bazzana. We had a few in between. We did pretty well on Bazzana when we were breaking this product, but we finish off with a bang for him as well with the 256 of $4.99. Waldschmidt has got to come off that stand now. I'm actually going to put the Waldschmidt to the side for now. as crazy as that is with how big a hit the Waldschmidt auto, or how nice a hit the Waldschmidt auto is. What a pack we had there. On both sides. And we got a Bazana base chrome as well there. That is wild. Who had Bazana tonight? Went from not having such a great night to adding one more chrome to adding an auto number to 499. Rodney on the sky blue for the second time as well. And we'll keep things moving. Can't believe there wasn't more excitement over the Bazana auto. People are just used to us pulling Bazana autos like that. All right, we'll keep things going with another bottom pack. See if we can get some more refractors here. Let's see. Before I finish opening this pack, is the chat alive? Can everybody hear and see me? Let me get a thumbs up or something in the chat to make sure we are all good before I continue with this pack. Okay, thank you. I always know I can count on you. All right, no color in the paper here. AJ Causey, Bryce Cunningham, Levi Sterling, Dante Nori, Treya Savage, Christian Moore, Peyton Toll, John Spikerman, Nathan Flewelling, Nick Mitchell, some more first rounders, James Tibbs, Kalen Culpepper, Victor Hurtado, Felnine Celestin, George Lombard, Jared Cerna, Clark Candiati, Tanner Jones, Caden Dana, Yoandi Morales. Hey, Christian Campbell on the inaction hanger tag. Christian Moore in tune. Only the second Christian Campbell we've pulled. Meb said, just wishing I had Bazana tonight. Oh, yeah. Was that last week when the Bazana spot didn't resell and you picked it up? Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Mossy. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler, if you received your cards from last week already, I shipped by mistake your regular cards before I shipped the all paper cards. So the all paper card is going to come separately from the rest of your hits. So just if you get worried that you see half your order come, the other half is in the mail as well. All right. We have Cody Shojinaga, Ethan Bagwell, Casey Sauke, Cole Mathis, Jared Thomas, Blake Burke, Braylon Payne, and Chase Burns. Let's see what autograph we have coming up here. Looks like base. Gage Miller, Ivan Luciano, Ryan Campos, Aaron Parker, refractor of Roman Anthony, Shanang Lin, Emil Morales, Griffin Herring, Grant Shepardson, Rafe Schlesinger. Oop, those are refractors. We'll sleeve them up. Haral Perez, Noble Meyer, and base auto of pitcher Greg. You called it. You said, let's see Cal. There he is. Cal Steven. Ryan Waldschmidt on the Plasma Power. So Greg calling his shot tonight. And getting a Cal Steven base auto out of it. Greg, is that your spot tonight, or were you just bringing him up randomly? All right, we got a bunch of stuff that I hadn't sleeved up yet here, so let's get it in penny sleeves. Refractors of Griffin Herring. Grant Shepardson. Rafe Schlesinger. Roman Anthony. Base chrome of Blake Burke. Braylon Payne. James Tibbs having himself quite a night. Kalen Culpepper. Dante Nori. And Treya Savage. A lot of nice chromes there. Let's get this pack next. 3 more packs to go, 3 more autographs to go in what has been not a disappointing last night of draft and might continue here. We have a blue and a green grass and a blue paper of Max Clark. Not a bad one to hit there for a non-first. Numbered 119 of 150. Let's see. Meb saying D-backs high A plays Toronto high A next week. We'll get a good look at those Blue Jays guys, Savage and Cal Steven. We have Ethan Anderson, Chris Cortez, Braylon Doughty, Griff O'Farrell, Bryce Rayner, and Hagen Smith. 3 more nice cards coming out there. Mike Sirota, Carson DiMartini, Rodney Green, Trey Snyder, another Augustin Ramirez, Braden Taylor, Trey Morgan, Dylan Cruz, David De Los Santos, Paulinho Santana, Josiah Romeo, almost to our refractors, Jackson Kent. We have a true blue, non-first. Nice Mets color match there. A little bit off center. Wish I would have had this card to get autographed by Giovanni Rodriguez when we were in Florida. Number 79 of 150 there for Giovanni Rodriguez on the Mets color match. And we have a first third baseman, Blake Wright, green grass. Much better on the centering there. Number 57 of 99, green grass, Blake Wright first. Nick Kurtz and Seaver King getting inserts. First refractor numbered to 99 there. Non-first refractor numbered to 150 for the Mets catching prospect, who I believe is off to a pretty nice start. Let's see, not sure who is there. Wentworth, Parker, I think for sure. Yeah, Savage might be past there already, honestly. Could be in Double-A already. All right, Rayner and Hagen Smith. Adding chromes for at least the second time. Max Clark adding a blue paper. Let me get that one in there safely. There we go. Nice blue paper of Max Clark. See the third. Caglione with the plasma power behind that one. But what a card. Stop. No. Wait, can you see me? Is it frozen? Let me know in the chat. Okay, good. Yeah, it didn't say it was frozen on my side, and usually it did. Well, incredible. If it froze for that. Oh, it froze right before I started opening the pack. Well, this is part of what we missed. Nick Kurtz and Chase Burns on the dual autograph. I'll go back through the rest of the pack as well. But I thought we were finally past that. Let me go through the rest of this pack too, so everybody sees all of the cards. Brilliant Brazaban Refractor, Sebastian Walcott, Tinken, Alan Cespedes, Enrique Bradfield Jr., and Braylon Morrell on the refractors. Chrome, we had Josiah Romeo, Jackson Kent, Carter Schiefelbein, and Santucci might have been from the previous pack. We also had a Connor Griffin, refractors of Braylon Churio, Leo DeVries, and then base of Theo Gielan and Kellen Lindsay. But the highlight of that one